Radical.
I don't pay much attention to all this election crap and whatnot, but there was some shining moments. There was some shining moments. And they all came from Mr. Herschel fucking Walker. Herschel Walker, Heisman winner, Hall of Famer. He was a big time running back for the Cowboys, and I think he got traded to the Vikings back in the 80s and 90s and whatnot. I think one of the top 10 running backs of all time, I believe. And just because you're that guy, you're a Hall of Famer in football, just because he brags that he used to do 1,000 sit-ups, 1,000 push-ups, which someone else called out as bullshit. I forget who it was, but they actually knew. They saw him daily, and they knew that he didn't do that shit, But yeah, there's that. There's some issues. Again, this guy's a Hall of Famer. Can't take that away from him. Great football player. Can't take that away from him. There's many issues for someone like him running for office. Specifically, I think he was running to be in the Senate. Republican Senate. Republicans are all about, they don't like abortions. Well, the word is he paid for an abortion with someone he was with, and he has fathered several kids, some that he just doesn't care about. But there's a lot of things about him. I'm not going to get into all that stuff. I'm going to get into the happiness and joy that I get when I listen to Herschel Walker talk and tell stories. You ever listen to somebody very stupid, full of buoyant optimism, and it just makes you smile? I mean, I'm I'm happy for Georgia that this guy did not win and everything, because he's gone. Like, his mind is just completely gone. Maybe he got hit too much. Maybe he got too many concussions. I don't know. He is just, wow. There's this one video I just watched where he's talking about how he's like Ricky Bobby. He doesn't come to lose. For that, he had this analogy, a manure analogy, and he could barely make it through the sentences. He kept getting the words wrong. It was hard to follow along. It was. You almost need like a notepad, and you need to correct the words that he speaks and correct the sentences. But he's enjoyable to listen to, for me anyways, because I'm laughing my fucking ass off. But he talks about how there's one kid in one room has a lot of toys, and the kid is very negative, and the other kid in the other room has a shovel and is shoveling horse manure. And then someone walks in, and the one kid in the one room is very still negative, has all these toys, but wants more. And the other kid, very positive, and asks, the parent asks the kid, "Hey, why are you so positive? You're in here, you're shoveling horse manure." Then the kid says, "I know there's a pony somewhere around here." Now, Herschel said there's a pony at the bottom of this manure, which doesn't make any sense, because the pony would be smothering to death under manure. Correct would be like, well, I know there's a horse around here somewhere. That's why I'm shoveling manure or something like that. And then there's another bit where he talks about how important the election was, and then he's focused on the erection. I think it's the fucking first time I've ever heard somebody, slip up and say erection. But with him, it's where his mind is a whole lot, because you kind of a womanizer. Hey, I can't hate on you, Herschel. I mean, I'm kind of a womanizer too. I think I could totally hang out with Herschel Walker, and we could paint the town red, man. I would love to hang out with this dude. He like a fucking trip, man. Just buoyant positivity. Like, he's the guy that just wants to go like drinking and fucking find bitches. So I ain't hating on the guy, right? I'm not. I mean, there is the whole thing to where, like, maybe you shouldn't fucking run for Senate if you are not qualified in the least. I mean, that would be like me trying to apply to be trying to be a brain surgeon or something like that, or operate a plane or whatnot. Come on now, this is just insane. I can't believe. I mean, who chose to put him forward? I mean, it's got to be some kind of a weird joke. Some people are saying, kind of like an Uncle Tom and whatnot. Um, the third thing that made me laugh was his incoherent story in the middle of a speech he was giving. He went on a tangent about watching a movie with vampires and werewolves. He's like, vampires are cool. Vampires are cool, but you know what? I didn't know that vampires could kill. Vampires could be killed by werewolves. Werewolves kill vampires. I didn't know that. That's weird. Then he talks about how the vampire was just kind of looking all cool and in the black and everything. He's flying, and he's like, "Whoa, you gotta get the hell out of there." You see a vampire flying around. Literally, that's. I'm trying to like be incoherent like he was, but I can't. It's a high level of incoherence. Trust me. He's like, yeah, this one guy went in there, sprayed some holy water on me like that. Don't work. Then he put a cross up on his head. And vampire said that don't work. And then he shifts, which makes no sense, and he just says that's why you gotta have faith. That doesn't make any sense. You gotta have faith, but then the vampire's laughing, saying that don't work. I just don't know. I do know this, that very, very entertaining. It was. I will try to. And the outro of this, I'm going to leave the vampire thing, and maybe I'll leave the manure thing. Anyone from Georgia? Anyone very, very, very relieved that this guy did not win? Apparently, it wasn't. It wasn't a huge gap. Actually, it was somewhat maybe close. I don't know. That's what I hear, which is just fucking scary, really. I mean, wow.